All right, so today, what we're going to do today is we're going to practice a little bit of yoga, and ideally, we should come away from this practice feeling relaxed, centered, connected as a couple. It's really nice. Not every couple wants to practice yoga together, and you guys are fortunate that you both have an interest in yoga. So you can use this as another way to connect and to build some sexual tension. And there's nothing wrong with building some sexual tension in our practices. Obviously, we're together because we find the other person attractive and we're energetically drawn to the other person. So letting that be part of this practice today of noticing the other person. When you do come in contact with them, feeling the big feels of being in contact with the love of your life. And letting that be okay. That's a really great sensation to override the stressors of like, oh no, I'm not pregnant again. I haven't gotten pregnant yet. Like all of those messages and crazy mind thoughts that come up that pull us out of the present don't help the body's chemistry. But breathing can alkalize your body. So we'll do some breathing techniques today to try to help to increase our alkalinity. The postures themselves can help to get that egg, if it's ready, to pop right out of the ovaries and head towards the fallopian tube today, as it happens to be day 14. Right? So I'm excited about that for you guys. All right, so let's lie down, stretch out, and find some space so that you can feel relaxed. That's it. Just wiggle around till everything feels long and straight and comfortable. Right? And in our style of yoga, we like to start from a place of deep relaxation so that the body, the mind can come into and come back down to its basal metabolic rate. So letting the breath slow down and relax, letting the head and shoulders get heavy and sink into the floor. Breathing into a soft belly and letting go of any sense of holding or restriction in the abdomen until the belly gently expands and contracts with the natural rhythm of the breath. As you feel the hips relaxing and the feet falling open from the hip joint, begin to become aware of the points of contact between the body and the floor and the body. And as you feel the body relaxing and the breath settling into its natural rhythm, let's come now to the complete yoga breath. Inhaling deep into the abdomen, expanding up through the chest and into the collar, and exhaling collar, chest, abdomen at your own pace. Inhaling from the bottom up, exhaling from the top down, inhaling until it feels as if there's no room left for breath, right to the back of the throat and the nose. And exhaling until there is nothing left inside, until you feel completely empty. Expanding and contracting. Riding the gentle tide of incoming and outgoing breaths. Five or six complete breaths can begin the process of alkalizing the body already. We want an alkaline environment to improve our chances of conception. We're less likely to get pregnant when we're acidic. And lots of different things influence our body's acidity, but one of the ways to improve that is deep, full breaths. So when it comes to intimacy, it's a fantastic idea to begin an intimate encounter with the deepest, fullest breaths that you can create. Slow the body down. The more oxygen, the more acidic. The more carbon dioxide, the more acidic, I apologize. And the more oxygen, the more pH we are. More alkaline. 2 or 3 more complete breaths. And allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm. And as the breath comes back to its natural rhythm, we'll take a moment to set our intention. A moment to think about what's important today, mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. What is important to you? And bring that intention forward to the conscious mind as you begin now to wiggle the fingers and the toes, circling the wrists and the ankles. And we'll bend the knees and place the feet on the ground. Knees together, feet wide. And on the next exhalation, let's let the head fall to the right. When you're ready to inhale, bring the head back to center and exhale over to the other side. Heavy, heavy head sinking into the floor. Jaw relaxed, tongue away from the roof of the mouth. A hint of a smile releases the soft palate on the roof of the mouth, and the head is heavy and rolling side to side. Eyes widening on the outside corners. Breathing into a soft belly. Letting go of any sense of tension in the abdomen or the belly. And letting the belly move with the breath. Release the tailbone, the sacrum, base of the body relaxed. Once more to the right and to the left, and we'll bring the heads back to center. As the head comes back to center, tuck the chin in just slightly and lengthen the back of the neck. And begin to nod yes. And with each nod of the head, imagine getting a little bit taller. That's it. You're doing great. Bringing the head back into neutral. As the head comes back into neutral, on the next breath, let's let the head fall to the right. Look up, over to the left, and chin down. Heavy head circling around, letting go of any stress or tension from the day. Melting tension from the fascia of the skull. Energy moves better through our body when we have optimal alignment in the spine. One more circle in this direction and we'll bring it back to center. And as we get back to center, tuck the chin in. And on the next breath, we'll let the head fall to the left and look up, over to the right, and circle around. Again, heavy, heavy head sinking into the ground, releasing tension. Breathing, you're doing great. One more circle in this direction and bringing the head back into neutral. As the head comes back into neutral, let's take the arms a little bit away from the side body. Maybe stack your arms so that one's on top and one's below. That's it, just finding a way to be a little bit wider together. That's it. Good job. And walk the feet in side by side. As the feet come in together, on the next breath, let's let both knees fall to the right. As the knees fall to the right, let the head roll to the left. When you're ready to inhale, bring the head and the knees back to center. And exhale over to the other side. Nice and easy, spinal rotation. And we've done these things together lots of times, but there's still really wonderful things to do to release the tension and tightness in the body, to remind the body to come into this practice from a place of softness, releasing, lowering cortisol levels, stimulating the good, happy hormones. Keep going side to side now, and let's bring the feet and the knees together and let one foot stay stacked on top of the other foot. That's it. Ankles and knees and feet stuck together. That's it. So it becomes a little bit more of a stretch. That's it. Moving with the breath. You're doing great. Once more to the right and to the left, and we'll bring it back to center. As we come back to center, let's bring the knees into the chest. Hug the knees into the chest and rock a little bit side to side. As you rock side to side, circle around to the right, just melting the fascial tension on the back body. And bring it around to the center. And as you come around to the center, hug the knees into the chest so we create a little compression in the abdomen for both of us. And on the next breath, let's bring the forehead up towards the knees. Exhale up, inhale down. And again, taking in as much breath as you can on the way up, on the way down, and exhaling as much as you can on the way up. Moving with your breath. That's it. That's it. Apanasana, wind relieving pose. Again, another great posture for increasing alkalinity and for increasing circulation into the abdominal center. You're doing great. The next time we come up, let's hold in the lifted position for 5 deep, full breaths against the compression in the abdomen. And if you like, take one hand and support your head. Don't feel like you're straining the neck in any way. That's it. And when you've taken 5 breaths, lower the head and shoulders down. And we're going to keep the knees into the chest. As you lower down, keep the right knee into the chest and stretch the left leg out straight. That's it. And on the next breath, just rock the right knee a little bit side to side, waking up the hip joint, massaging the right side of the abdomen, and then hug the right knee in and stretch out the lower leg. Now on the next breath, we're going to take the lower leg and we're going to raise the left leg all the way up to the ceiling, slow and controlled. That's it. And then lower it all the way back down. You're doing great. Up and down with your breath. Nice and slow. See if you can slow it down now and do it about half time. That's it. And one more time, up and down. And the next time the leg comes down, let it hover just above the ground for a moment and really become aware of how the fascial train from the hip through the abdomen and up through the chest almost is engaged in this movement. And then let it melt down into the ground. Good job. On the next breath, release the right knee, place the right foot on the floor, stretch the right leg out straight, and relax for 5 breaths. That's it. You're doing great. One or two more breaths, feeling the difference in the two sides of the body. Feel how there's just energy is moving differently in the two sides of the body right now. When you're ready to inhale next, let's bend both knees again and place both feet back on the floor. And we'll bring the left knee into the chest, hug the left knee into the chest, rock it a little side to side. That's it. And bring it back to center. As it comes back to center, stretching the right leg out straight. Hugging the left knee in, pressing the right leg down into the ground. And on the next breath, when you're ready, lift the right leg up to the ceiling nice and slow. The slower we go, the more that we move the fascial trains through the abdomen and the chest. And again, moving these fascial trains, moving and innervating the deep pelvic stabilizing muscles are also massaging all of the organs of reproduction as well. Nice and slow. And when you've gone up and down the same number of times that you did on the other side, bring the leg close to the floor. Pause for a moment and let it hover above the ground. Lengthening, really feeling all the muscles in the abdomen, feeling the internal organs. That's it. And once it's hovered there for a few breaths, let it melt down into the ground. Releasing, relaxing. The relaxation is just as important as the working movements. And then release the left leg, place the left foot on the floor, and on the next breath, stretch the left leg out straight. Relax and breathe. You're doing great. In a moment now, we're going to bend the knees again. So when you're ready, bend the right knee, bend the left knee, place the feet on the ground. And let's roll onto the right side and curl up in a fetal position. That's it. And when you're ready to, imagine inhaling and breathing into low back and hips. And when you're ready to inhale next, inhale, use the hands and slowly start to push up onto all fours. Come on up. And we'll come up into table position and we'll face the side of the room. Hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Fingers are open wide. Index fingers are pointing straight ahead. That's it. And we'll flex the spine back and forth. That's it, spinal flexion, cat and cow pose. Make it feel good. Again, continuing the mobility of the spine. Energy is moving most efficiently through the body when there's less resistance. Tension is a form of resistance. So if we can find ways to release muscle tension, we'll have more energy moving through the body. That's the theory. Once more, back and forth, and coming back to table. When you're ready, we're gonna wag the dog. And so if we do this in opposition, so that on one side you look at each other, so if one goes to the right, one goes to the left, that's it, you got it. And as your right hip and right ear come together, that's it. Side to side, we'll figure it out. That's it, play with each other. If you're laughing, you're doing great. That's it. Play with this side to side. It should feel good. Make it feel good. If you want to let your hips drift a little to the side as you do this, it would feel awesome. Notice where your neck is the tightest, as you're either looking over your shoulder or bringing the ear to the shoulder. Which one gives you the most awareness in the neck? The next time we go to your right, sit back towards the heels and come forward to the left. That's it. You're going to go back and forth, like make a figure 8 coming forward and back. That's it. Awesome. Just like that. That's it. And just happen to notice how awesome your partner is once in a while. As your head goes that, and just notice how awesome it is to watch their muscles move and to watch the beauty of just their anatomical form. You know, humans are just beautiful beings. And this happens to be one that you've chosen to walk this path with in this lifetime. Just noticing how amazing their body is. Once more in this direction, and as you come back to neutral, let's go the other way. If you went back to the right, go back to the left. And take it to the right as you come forward. If you're not sure, just keep moving and make it feel good. Make sure your head is involved, let it be heavy. Maybe it drops down a little as you go back and you pick it up a little as you come forward. And just what can I release in my body? Is there something I'm holding on to consciously or unconsciously that I could practice letting go of? And on the next breath, let's take it all the way back into resting child. And if we could open the knees up, have right big toe under left big toe, knees wide, forehead to the floor, palms of the hands on the floor. And this time, forearms are relaxed. If your shoulders don't work this way, of course, you could stack one hand on top of the other and put your forehead on your hands if you needed to. You're doing great. Good, listening to your body. Imagine being able to breathe into low back and hips now. With each breath, feel a sense of expanding on the inhalation and relaxing and letting go on the exhalation. Tailbone releasing. Sacrum releasing. That's it. If one hip's grumpier than the other, take a little extra breath into that hip and a little extra TLC. And I'm feeling like if you need to move in any way, let this be a constantly organic pose. It doesn't have to be static if it's not serving you. On the next inhalation, let's find our way back up and sitting up and back on the heels into hero pose. Another great posture for digestion, for stretching out all the meridians of the reproductive system as well, getting everything ready. Love it, right? And hanging out there for a moment. That's it. And when you're ready, let's turn and face each other, and you're going to come wide-legged. So if you want to find the right spot, that's it. You're going to take the legs wide and face each other. Now, one person might have more flexible legs than the other, and that would be okay. And usually the person with the more flexible legs is on the outside. That's it. And we want to first just grab each other's wrist if you can reach them. That's it. Breathing. And when you're ready, Caitlin, just bring Justin towards you a little bit. Just imagine bringing him into your whole self. As you bring him forward till you find his gentle edge, and Justin, tuck your chin in and surrender to her like, I am yours. That's it. And on the next breath, just when you're ready, Justin, begin to come up slowly. And she'll let him lead you, Caitlin. That's it. Let him take charge in this moment. And then just begin to draw her to you. Breathing. You can lean back a little if that feels good for you. Draw her to you. And Caitlin, surrendering to him as best as you can. Letting him pull you into him. Letting your head go, relaxing. Breathing into wherever you're feeling this the most intensely. Besides the posture, notice if there's any sense of vulnerability that's coming up. And breathe into that as well, like greet it with the biggest smile you've got. Like, yes, I surrender to vulnerability. Yeah, and then Caitlin, whenever you're ready, no hurry. Whenever you feel like you're done, you lead coming back up, and Justin following as best as you can. And guys, take this back and forth a couple of times so it's almost impossible to tell who's leading and who's following. That's it. If one person feels tired of a certain position, they can initiate. It doesn't have to be a particular partner. You guys are doing great. Breathe into any sensations that are coming up, physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. Notice, surrender to it if you feel humor, tears. When this practice, whatever arises, is coming to pass. It's not coming to stay, it's just floating in and floating out. So trusting that it is coming so that you can manifest that which you desire. Everything is happening on your path to fulfilling your desire. Maybe once more back and forth if that feels good. And eventually we'll come on back up and make some eye contact. Awesome. All right, so now transitioning now to a back-to-back posture, if you could. And maybe we'll go on an angle with one person kind of facing this corner of your rug and one person facing the other corner. That's it. So you've both got enough room to sit in a comfortable position, either cross-legged or one leg extended to start. Find some contact back to back. That's it. You're doing great. And on the next breath, just finding each other's breath, if you could. As you find, and let's say, Justin, you're going to try and find Caitlin's breath first. And Caitlin, you breathe naturally and allow Justin to find your breath by breathing deep and full. Again, another opportunity to take the fullest breaths you can take. And Justin, with each breath, imagine you are giving her everything that you have to give. Each breath is supporting her in this process. Giving, knowing that it's coming from an unlimited source of energy. each breath, one breath closer. And take a deep breath together and let go of the form. And then, just in allowing your breath to return to its natural rhythm. And Caitlin, if you would begin to pay attention to the rhythm of his breath, and as best as you can, breathing with him. And as you breathe with Justin now, what is it that you want to give him? Imagine supporting him and giving everything that you have to give with each breath. Supporting this amazing other being that is the perfect partner. One or two more breaths together. And allowing your breath to return to its natural rhythm again. And as your breath returns to its natural rhythm, one person will decide to forward fold, and the other person is going to relax back onto their back. And if you've got tight neck and shoulders, maybe take your hands behind your head, support your head so that you're not straining the neck in any way, and the head feels supported, and the back bend feels supported. Jaw relaxed for everyone. Soft belly breaths. You're doing great. And at some point, one of you will start to feel like, I've had enough of this position. And again, without being able to tell who initiates the movement, coming back up, staying in contact as best as you can, and then letting the other person forward fold, and maybe supporting your neck, Caitlin, if you need to. That's it. So there's no strain for your neck and shoulders. And again, listening to your bodies, taking big letting go breaths. The more oxygen, the more alkaline we become. The more we release all the carbon dioxide. So exhale completely until you feel a gentle contraction in the low abdomen. That's it. One person will decide they're done and shifting back to center. As we come back to center, let's change legs. So we have the opposite leg in front, and we'll do the same thing again. Maybe you'll go in the same order, maybe different. Notice what, if anything, comes up for you. Oftentimes, it's interesting to feel our relationship issues as we move through partner poses. That's it. Taking care, supporting your neck and shoulders. If you're watching this and you have tight hips, you don't have to be as flexible as Caitlin. And all you have to do is stretch one leg out straight and come as far forward as you're able. Maybe you use a block to support your head. You're doing great, guys. That's it. If you have any injuries, always listening to your body, going at your own pace. And it only works well if you're both really paying attention to self as you interact with the other. You're doing great. That's it. As you come back up, let's take the legs out wide again. And on the next breath, we'll do one more time. Same posture. Coming forward or back. Listening to your body. and your smile. That's it. As we come back to center now, let's bring the feet back in and come into bound angle. No hurry. Take your time. Bound angle. Knees open. If your knees don't work that way, again, you can always stretch one leg out straight. And we'll do this one more time in bound angle. And both, if you can hold on to your ankles when you're forward folding, wonderful. If not, don't feel like you have to. Maybe support your head. That's it. Jaw relaxed. Yeah. Just breathing and relaxing in each pose. When we're practicing yoga for fertility, it's not about finding our maximum flexibility or strength. It's about connecting, feeling, seeing if we can move in unison, feeling the other person, supporting the other person, receiving and giving, and feeling that flow back and forth. That's it. Breathe and hold. You're doing great. As we come back to center now, we're going to bring the hands to the outside of the hips on the floor, so your hands are close together on the floor, that's it. And you're going to turn and look over Justin's right shoulder and Caitlin's left shoulder. And it's like, hey, are you back there? Yeah, look at that, there he is. And turn and look to the other side. And there's my friend. Alrighty, and then we're going to swing around and face each other. No hurry. Try to stay in contact through the whole transition. Some part of you could be a baby finger, it could be a hip, a knee. That's it. You could be very playful. Playful is good, right? If we're laughing, we got good hormones. So keep something in contact with the other person, and just be slightly off center. So one person is just a few inches off center of the other. That's it. And as close together as you can come. And now, so with Caitlin in that position, Justin's left hand is going to go around his back, and Caitlin's right hand is going to go look for it. And Justin, your hand is going to come over across her arm, yeah, on the other side of it, over top of it. And Caitlin, your left hand's coming around your back. And if you can grab each other's wrist, if you're flexible enough, you can grab fingertips or wrists, and then sitting up as tall as you can, and draw each other into a very gentle twist. You draw her towards you, and she'll draw you, and you look over your shoulders. Now hold the twist and look back and make some eye contact. Like, hey, hold it for just a moment until it feels super awkward. That's it. Or you start to feel the deep connection. Notice which eye the other person is in and look into that eye. Maintain the connection for one more breath. And then feel the pulling apart as you look back over your other shoulder. Get tall. And on the next breath, slowly release back to center. And switch sides. So shift your off-centeredness just a little bit more so that the knees are on the other side of each other. That's it. Just enough to be able to reach each other easily. And one hand around the back, opposite hand grabs it. Yep, and your hand, you're actually the other way, Caitlin, with your hands. You're gonna, yep, that's it, there it is. And first, grabbing a hold of wrists or fingers, whatever you can reach without straining. And on the next breath, gently draw them into a twist. You're doing great. That's it. And looking over your shoulder, feeling the twist, and on the next breath, turn and look back at each other again. As you turn back to look at each other, that's it. Holding it there and breathing. And that's it. Nice deep connection through the eyes. The eyes, they say, are the windows to the soul, right? And when you're ready to look away again and feel that looking away like, oh, where did he go? Where did she go? And on the next breath, releasing this and bringing it back to center. As you come back to center, make some eye contact again. And maybe shift so that you're centered again now. That's it. You're doing great. And now we'll take a moment right now. And we've done a little bit of stretching. The body's a little more limber. And let's take a moment to check in. And take a deep breath together, making eye contact, and let your eyes close softly. As you let your eyes close softly, take a moment to really notice how you're feeling. If you're uncomfortable and you need a prop or something, let me know. Justin, there's a meditation cushion behind you if you need it. If you need something or you're cold, let me know and I'll toss you a blanket. How am I feeling? What's going on with me? How do I feel physically? How do I feel mentally? How do I feel emotionally today? And if I could even dig down and figure out, how do I feel spiritually? What is going on with me? Notice if there are any themes coming up for you. And let's have, if we could, let's have Justin tell us first how he's feeling. If Caitlin, if you would just listen deeply, and again, no comments, just making eye contact and listening. When you're ready, take a deep breath together and open your eyes downward and take the next 2 or 3 breaths to come up and make some eye contact. And Justin, letting Caitlin know, how is it that you feel today?
Today I feel relaxed, positive, comfortable, and hopeful.
Awesome. Is there anything else you want her to know?
I love you.
Let's take a deep breath together. And shifting gears, Justin, you'll be receiving, and Caitlin, take another moment to think about how you're feeling on all levels. What's going on with you today? And when you're ready, opening the eyes downward and taking a couple of breaths to find each other's eyes again. Make some eye contact. Find the eye that he's in the most. And Caitlin, tell Justin how you're feeling today.
Today I feel uplifted, sore, light, emotional.
Can you put a name to any of the emotions that you're feeling?
Sadness, humor,
Is there anything else that you want Justin to know today?
we're gonna be okay.
Let's take a deep breath together. And exhale, let the eyes close again for a moment and just rest deeply. If there's anything else that you feel the need to speak, and if you're watching this at home, take a moment and feel free to pause here and share deeply with your partner about anything at all that you would like to speak. And